guys? This is John McNamara, host of Runnin Vegas. We're talking local sports, business, real estate with my co-host, Mr.
Rodrigo. Always happy to be here.
Yes.
And we got a special guest.
Very special.
Thank you, guys.
Celina Go.
Woo! Go.
Top producer, Sotheby's International, here today. Give us all the good information on the luxury industry, real estate. We're excited to have you on.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah,
that's good. We're excited to have you and dive into these details. Yeah.
Let's go.
Absolutely. So I looked at your Zillow profile a little bit, get to know you a little bit. So you've been in Vegas 15 years, got into real estate. So tell us a little about growing up in Vegas and transition in real estate and how that all was.
So you're definitely not sheltered growing up in Vegas. I would say that is one bad thing about growing up here.
Yeah.
A good thing, though, is that you are...
We're off to a fast start.
Very fast.
The good thing, though, is that growing up in Vegas, I feel like it's a great city to be a part of. You know, seeing it grow as well while you're growing up is incredible. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't even have downtown Summerlin. We didn't have a lot of the things that we have now. And it's like incredible to be kind of part of that journey and just see Vegas transition into the city that it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you? Where did you grow up?
Upstate New York,
Okay.
Albany. I moved out here when I was 25 years old. So it's kind of cool because I noticed you've been in Vegas for a little over 15 years.
Yes.
And it's the same amount of time that I've been here.
Okay.
So I've got to see it grow as well.
Right.
And you're right, like downtown Summerlin, there was not, it was just that little bare land and that little building that's out there.
Not even
frames
like
or whatever.
Red Rock Casino, right? Like when did
Red Rock was there, opened like right when I got there.
Yeah.
So I got lucky with that. But yeah, it's been cool to see the city grow. I mean, it is basically like completely doubled in the last 15 years, and it's great to be a part of a community that is like that, because I know you said you're originally from New Jersey. Now, I don't know you're a part of town, to be very honest with you, but upstate New York, there is no growth. People are leaving in droves from upstate New York to go to Florida or Vegas or California, wherever it is. So it's great to be a part of a town that's growing so rapidly.
I agree.
Yeah, I can feel the weird frequency. Two East Coasters right now.
Oh, yeah? Is it a little uncomfortable?
A little bit.
Good. I like that you're uncomfortable. So, you're having a lot of success in real estate.
Thank you.
I don't know you that well, but I'm proud of you, to be completely honest with you. It's pretty amazing to have that much success so early on.
It's impressive.
So, dive in. What's working for you? What are your pillars?
So I would say that I'm who I am throughout. I'm not, when I meet with someone, I'm not trying to be someone different. I'm who I am. Like if I'm blunt with you, I'm going to be blunt with my client, you know? And I think they feel that and they sense that. And I think a lot of realtors kind of they're not themselves sometimes, you know? And I feel like clients can sense that. And so with me, I feel like the reason for my success is just because I'm authentic and I'm not trying to be anyone else.
You are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what about you? What do you think? What's your reason for your 19 years of success?
I think that's a big part of it. I think what I try to do is befriend not in the beginning. In the beginning, I was very structured, very by the scripts, and I had success with that, and you can have success with that. But if you want referral business, which you're great at, is you have to befriend that. I mean, you're amazing at that too.
Yeah,
it's like building that rapport, and you are definitely like, you are who you are.
Yeah.
First time I met Celina.
Yes, talk about that.
I'm showing one of our listings, and she's with her client. Comes right in. I know you. You're John McNamara. You're the scripts guy. She's like, let's role play right now. I'm looking at the client. And I'm like,
on the spot.
I thought it was getting pumped. You know? I'm like looking around. You know, like KW messing with me again.
Right.
But yeah, so I knew you were blunt, but I could tell like your client was cool. He didn't care. He started walking.
He's like, oh, this is normal.
Yeah. Now looking at it, right?
Right. He was like, whatever. This is just Celina.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, he did tell me that story earlier this week, and I was just like, wow, that's...
Yeah, it's like I've heard your name. Like, that's another thing. Like, I've heard your name. I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't know you. Because if we do a deal together, part of sales is you have to know, who you're working with. Yeah, like, let me butter you up, make you feel good. And that's just who I am. It's not like, oh, we didn't end up submitting an offer, but he'll always remember me as that person who was like, let's do this role play thing, and it was
No, it's actually really good because you're absolutely right. You became very memorable, right? So, and you and I connected because of that. So it was actually brilliant in that regard. So I don't know.
She planted the seed for the future because, a lot of the times you end up seeing these agents again, right, in a deal, and sometimes putting things together. It helps out. Hey,
like, remember that one time that we saw each other in the lakes and we were doing it's like, whoa, okay, I remember you,
It's like everyone 1 o'clock, right on the dot, Tuesday.
So I think just going back to that is just being authentic and like that's just who I am. Now I'm not saying the secret is to go up to a random agent and be like, let's role play. Like, no, I gotta work for you, but just be who you are and don't be shy.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you? What do you think is the success?
Just coming from contribution, something that I got from John right from the get-go. I am in fault where I can be a little bit of a yes person. I come from the hospitality industry, so I'm always used to the customer being right. So in our industry, the customer wants to be right, but we know they are not right, or we know that that's not going to get the home sold, or that's not going to get their offer accepted. So I just try to be gentle where I could be much more fierce, much more direct. I've been definitely working on that in the past year or so. Trying to be more efficient for them, and I let them know, hey, if I'm not being honest with you and transparent, I'm simply being a disservice for you.
Right.
So,
and overall, I actually think it's a really good quality because, to be completely honest with you, most agents want to be right. And most agents that want to be right do not do a lot of business. So, absolutely. And I think for me, I have a little bit of that as well. There's that amiable side of me, especially if I like somebody. But the key is if I don't sell their house or get what their needs are, then I failed them.
Yeah. Right.
So you have to be fierce in those moments because at the end of the day, they may like you. If you don't sell their house or get them under contract, they're not talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, but overall, we kind of have the similar pillars. We target a lot of expireds, withdrawals. We prospect a lot. So I just try to bring value, try to be that professional, nice guy. I notice a lot of the people we're competing up against with, or when they're sellers or buyers are interviewing multiple agents, we simply stand out just because we dress the par. We talk, we're professional. We show up with respect. We, have a little bit more of a common courtesy.
What's like the biggest common objection you guys get when you go up against expired listings? Like, what is the top 3?
It's a good
common objections.
One or top 3?
Top 3.
Top 3. Let's see.
Depends
typically
on the market.
Yeah. Typically, I hear I'm going to sell myself. Right? It's so easy. Why would I pay you $20,000?
And then what do you say?
So fair. Do you want to net the most amount of money, or do you want to save money on commission?
And then what do they say?
I want to net the most amount of money, and that's where you hire a professional like me. Sign the paperwork.
Let's go, sign it.
I love it. We're doing expired for fist bumps. We don't even care.
I guess I got role. I got the role play setting too.
Yeah, I know. So this is clearly a thing. This is how Celina builds rapport with agents. Get ready to be on role play 24/7.
No, but I'm taking notes. I'm like,
I'm just getting you going. But. So tell me, because this has been kind of, what year did you get into real estate?
2021 June.
2021 June. Interesting time to come to the market. Okay, so I got in 2005 to date myself. So how is it for you? Because 2021 is very obviously interesting time in real estate, and now we're experiencing a different market. So give me your take of how that's going and what your thoughts are on that.
So what I'm hearing is you want me to tell you what my take is on how the market was in 2021 and how it is now, or what the transition has been like?
More you personally, not necessarily what the markets look like, but like for you, because pandemic was really hard to go. If you were newer, actually, because I'm different. I think this is actually the best time to get into real estate. Where everybody was like, oh, the market's got during the pandemic. The thing is, there was no market share for new agents.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, how was that for you being a new agent? How were you getting business? Like, how'd you build it up? And then it seems like right now you're like blowing up. You're exploring.
Feeling it.
So tell me about that. You know, new to Celina now.
Okay, so in 2021, I just got fired from my job in hospitality. And when one door closed, another one opened. So I was making like $15 an hour there and hustling for tips. I got a bad Yelp review. We could post the Yelp review later. And that just kind of showed my hustling spirit. And I was hustling for like $100 tip, $50 tip. So when I first got in, luckily, it was a good interest rate market, and I got my first check within like 2 months.
Wow.
And when you get your first check quicker than a lot of newer agents, you see what kind of money you can make helping people get the home of their dreams. But that was what fueled me to, okay, like, I don't want to work for anyone else anymore. I don't want my time to be determined by someone else. Like, let me, use this vehicle to fuel my fire and help people along the way. Yeah. So that's kind of how that started on that trajectory. I think getting everyone was like, oh, 2021 was so easy, but I don't think it was that easy. You had to I was working with buyers. You're going to work with buyers first, and you had to literally offer your firstborn child to get an offer accepted. But that showed me you got to communicate. You got to call the agent. You got to show who you are, and I didn't have a name back then, but I was hustling, let's go,
Yeah.
And so from that point, the interest rates have gone up, and I think another, staying and doing good throughout a low interest rate environment, high interest rate environment is, again, transparency and honesty. I will never do something for my client that I wouldn't do myself. And if it doesn't make sense for my client, I'm not going to push you into this deal if it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. And I think now, as I've been more seasoned, not taking rejection super personally, not caring if you say no, because you're not saying no to me. It just wasn't a match. And if it's not a match, it's okay. We never were going to work out in the first place, and it was never mine to begin with.
Yeah.
And just kind of coming into this, and always abundance mindset, always knowing that the glass is always half full. It's always the perspective that you lead with, and what you focus on expands. So if I'm focusing on bad, everything is bad.
Yep.
But if I'm focusing on good, everything is good, and that's when you get more. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Facts.
But
okay. Questions.
Okay, good.
No, it was actually good. It was great. And I love how you started that off with you figured out that your chip.
Yeah.
I love that, and I tell that to my team all the time. That's what you need. You need that freaking chip to go after it every single day, and you did hustle.
Right.
Right, and you stand out, 'cause especially right now that we're seeing in the marketplace is the easy part of the pandemic was there was a lot of hanging fruit in terms of it was easy to put deals together, boom, 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 especially if you're on the listing side of things. But now it's different, where it takes a lot longer to sell a house or to get that buyer, because buyers go hot and cold right now.
Yeah.
They're all about it 1 month, and then all of a sudden they're ghosting you because they kept looking at that interest rate. The interest rate went up 0.5 point. So it's just, keep moving forward and keep building business, have that bun, and understanding it's not about you.
Right.
You don't know what's going on with your client.
Right.
Or, it's the market. It's okay, but there's so much business out there, you just got to find the next person you can help out.
Yeah.
And in every market, someone's buying and someone's selling. Low interest rate, high interest rate, REO market, foreclosure. Someone's buying, someone's selling. Who can I find?
Absolutely.
Period.
Find the next.
Yeah, find them.
Find them. They're out there. Stop blaming XYZ. Take ownership.
Yeah.
That whatever you've done has led you to where you are now. So if you're not doing good, it's most likely because of you, and if you're doing good, it's because of you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm excited for you because you're already doing very well, but this market's going to help you out tremendously 5-10 years down the road.
Why?
When I moved here in 2009,
right,
the market was crashing. The prices were going down 3% a month. We had 36,000 homes for sale in the market.
Wow.
And everybody was upside down their house. The average sales price was $110,000. We had to do short sales that took 6 to 9 months to negotiate. Banks didn't know what they were doing. People were losing their jobs left and right. So this market is nothing compared to that market.
Yeah.
So the fact that you have that great mindset already, most agents that we're seeing right now, they don't have the best mindsets, right?
Why do you think that is?
It's an interesting industry, and we're seeing a lot of folks leave our industry, which I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Obviously, I hope everybody can succeed in real estate, but the reality is 96% people that get into real estate in the first 18 months are gone. I think that's going to rise.
Okay.
98, 99%, especially with everything changing with co-ops and the market being more difficult. And the scary thing was 49% of people in Las Vegas did 0 deals in the last year. So this is not something you can really do part-time anymore. You know,
that's a really good stat to bring to the table.
I think you make a good point, kind of going back to not being attached to things. I notice a lot of agents, they get one lead, right? And even though that lead is very unrealistic, they just become so attached to it. They're afraid to let it go. They're afraid to throw it away and just move on to the next. And you seem, well, based on, I've met you today, and off the back, I've noticed that, hey, I'm blunt, I'm being, transparent to you, and I love that. And you can kind of gravitate to that. But I think that's the mistake with a lot of agents nowadays. They just get too attached to that one buyer that may buy this year. And they're like picturing that one check for the whole rest of the year. And I'm like, man, like the idea is to have.
Right. It was never yours to begin with. And honestly. Yeah. On top of that too, like, what did you learn? What did you learn from that? Then you take that with every single one. You learn more from your no's and your slam dunks. So it's like, that's how you have to change your mindset. Like, mindset is everything in this business. And it's like, when I get told no, I dig deeper and take ownership. Like, what did I do to get this no? Like, if it's, something that you can't control, then just let it be. But if it was something that you could have controlled the process for, then you learn for the next one and you don't do it again. Instead of, if you put all your energy into why did this happen, personalization, and you could put that energy into so many other people, so many other deals, get better. Like, yes, sorry, I'm like on my yes.
No, I love that. Yeah,
like, I'm pumped.
Are we on Oprah right now? I don't know, but I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back to the office after this. Just start cranking up more numbers.
Get on it, honey. What are you doing?
Like, it's yes. Okay.
Just on repeat. Right. The office.
I gotta reflect my whole life right now, just like my entire career.
So I love that. I love that you're so growth-minded and you're clear. You're talking about mindset a lot. So tell me more about that. So what do you do to work on your mindset every day? Because clearly it's very strong.
Okay, so I think, honestly, I feel like I've come from this critical mindset of over-criticizing myself, because coming from an Asian household, like, your parents will literally criticize you and pick you apart, which isn't good. But I've learned not to take things... I've learned to look at that as love, which is the great part of that, because I look at it as like me loving myself, me nourishing myself. So anytime I can get critical on something, I just do it. And I think that was just given to me by my mom, because she's always told me to like look deeper into things and how I can be better, how it's no one's fault. And then now I listen to a lot of like Ed Milet, Mel Robbins in the morning, and I say affirmations to myself. I'm capable, I'm worthy. And you'll just talking positive to yourself, you'll attract positive.
Yeah.
So,
true.
Yeah. How about you? Do you listen to podcasts? I feel like you have to listen to some podcasts.
I do listen to podcasts. I just thought it was interesting because looking at Rock, because we read a book as a team monthly. Okay. So it's kind of interesting. You just said what you said at the beginning about growing up in your household, and it talked about in the book how Asians are 2 to 3 points IQ higher than whatever the average, but their culture though actually talks about, because a lot of cultures are like, oh, if you can't do it, honey, it's okay. But a lot of Asian cultures are like, it doesn't matter. You have to get it done no matter what. And that culture tends to professionally do better. Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting to put that together.
I caught it too. I think it was something in the lines of like, careful,
I'll say it on our podcast.
But typically in Asian communities, like, hey, if you're getting low grades, you're gonna stay up late, and if you're still getting bad grades, you're gonna wake up earlier. And it's just that accountability to just being better. And it's simply like, hey, if you want to be better, put in the effort. There's no excuses, right? Where here it's kind of like, oh, I feel bad for you. It's okay. You'll get it next
like
time.
Everyone gets a trophy, and that's fine. Everyone can get a trophy, but like, what is that raising? That's not raising someone like without grit, determination. Like, if everyone gets a trophy, like, why are we even playing the game? I don't know.
And I like how you said it too, how you realized later on in life it was love. So that's so cool that came together, and you came on the other side of that. So that's really impressive, because not every that can break people.
Right.
I'm Hispanic, so yeah, we tend to show love by criticizing somebody or just beating them up.
And, okay, granted, there is like generational trauma where things are bad, and that's not good, but it makes you kind of who you are too. It's character building, and so
No, but I've learned to, just like you said, I've learned to take that. Even though I feel like they're criticizing or they're being mean to me, I just now identify it as love.
Right.
I'm just like, thank you for loving me. Keep loving me.
Right? Loving our childhood drama.
Yes.
Thank you, therapy.
Amen.
Awesome. What I do for my mindset, work out in the mornings, read, listen to podcasts like you. But you're right, this is a tough business, and I think that's part of it, kind of going back of we were talking about 96% people leaving, now it's even going to be higher. I think it's a culture thing too, of people are kind of getting a little bit, they're not as tough, they're not as thick skinned, right?
Yeah.
So, cool. So we got some things going on the market right now. What are your thoughts about the rest of this year with the marketplace, maybe going to 2025? What's your take on the market right now?
My take on the market is I think that we have like about 4,000 listings on the market. I feel like we're going to get more listings. With interest rates, staying where they were suspected to go down, I feel like we're going to get more listings, more inventory for buyers. I think beginning of 2025, maybe we'll have like 7,000 listings. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think?
I think eventually interest rates are coming down. I think there's not a crystal ball. I don't think it's happening tomorrow, though.
Right.
I think we're probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years out, and being okay with that. And I think it's great opportunities for agents like us that take the business serious and we're full time. Great time to take market share. So I am in no hurry for the market to get better. To be completely honest with you, selfishly. So,
I double that. Yeah.
Why do you think in a harder market it's easier to get market share?
Absolutely. Nobody's
That's
calling.
true.
Nobody's working. Everybody's leaving the business. So, and I want good things for everybody, to be very clear, but I mean, that's how I built my business, So
and the 2009 crash.
2009, right?
Wow.
So there was,
okay.
Yeah, so that's where I started in Vegas, right? But when the pandemic hit, I'm doing like 66 deals a year, but that doesn't happen overnight, folks. That is like 10 years of making calls every single day.
Yeah.
Now everybody was ready to go because the market hit. So we'll have these same opportunities by building the market share here because the market will pick up if it's a year, 5 years from now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But build that market share now because if you're thinking long term, you're going to be in real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. And I like that perspective too, that just that, in the 2009 crash, that a lot of your, whatever, you were making calls for 10 years and that was the reason for the success of the pandemic. Like all those little steps that you did back then, created that response. So that's great.
Well, I think too, I've made a decision that I only wanted to do real estate. And the first 2 years moving here, I think I made like 40 grand year one and year two. Then it blew up and my business exploded because 2011, the market started shifting, But I think it's just making that decision where a lot of folks in this business, at least 50% of them, they got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, And the reality is like 500 of us actually sell most of the real estate in Las Vegas. So it's just making that, burn the ships.
Right.
Yeah.
Just do this.
Woo!
Ooh.
Out of my fire. Cool. So what would you recommend to a new agent entering the market?
Ooh, I like that question.
I would say, if I was to recommend, I would say you need to know why you're doing this because you need to know when there's hard times why you're doing this. And you need something that's going to wake you up every day. Because if you don't know your why and you're just confused and you think you're just going to make a lot of money and people are just going to go with you, like it's not the case. People are not going to go with you. This is family. This is people that they're not going to go with you unless you can't be a secret agent. You got to let everyone know. And honestly, if you have to say like, hey, if you're not going to go with me, like even though I'm new, I'm going to work harder for you than XYZ company who's already had a built name. I'm going to go above and beyond. Like this person has 80 deals a year. Like how do they have time to market to you? It's a different kind of strategy.
Yes.
But I'm driven. I need a name for myself. I need to work hard. And I think a lot of newer agents, they think that like, oh, like I have a family member who's gonna go with another realtor, like I'm not gonna speak up for myself. Like, no, speak up for yourself. Like, let's go. Like, that you're not gonna go down without a fight, you know?
Yeah,
I remember when I first started, like I was a bridesmaid for someone, and they told me that they weren't gonna go with me as a realtor, but and I told her, I was like, on the day that you trust me the most to be with you by your side, I'm there, and then for a house you can't, and then she went with me. Like, I'm gonna call you out. Like, no,
I love that.
If you need to put the friendship on the line, like, dude, they're not your friend if they're not supporting you.
Yes, amen.
Like,
to that. Yeah.
right? So I think just not being a secret agent, letting them know that you're not gonna go down without a fight, that there is value to you. You know, like, you're helping me build my business up, and this is something that I'm gonna cherish and I'm gonna remember. And it's like, it's a different strategy.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would tell a new agent.
I like it. Go after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even when I first started, same thing. I think you hit it on the nose, because I think newer agents, when they get in this business, they think like, oh no, how am I going to compete with all these? You hit on the nose like, well, I'm new to this business. I don't have time for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go after it for you. And was able to have a lot of success because of just the way you did it right there. Because I think we think like, oh, if I'm 20 years in the business, I have all this experience and everything, people are going to think I'm the man. Does not work that way. Nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking before the pod too, it's making about your clients. They don't care how many deals you did,
Right.
how much experience you had, to a degree, but it's very small. But at the end of the day, do they like you or not, and do they trust you?
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever been on a listing appointment where they were like, how many deals have you sold?
No.
It's very rare.
Unless I'm saying it, and I should not be, because why am I going to say that? You know, it's like, you have to come in there humbly. Why am I going to say how many deals I sold? So when I was going, like, no one's going to know. You got to just be confident in the skills that you know and play to those strengths.
Yeah, I love how you just find play to the strengths, find solutions for it. Like, hey, they're not gonna have time. So
you hit it on the nose.
Yeah.
You have more to that?
No. I just wanted to bring up. I know someone brought it up in your class, in your prospecting class, when you had it last week. So how do I compete? How do I compete? You know.
Well, I love, because the reality is that you're going like, I'm going to sell 40 deals this year, whatever it is. You just lost them.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you should be talking about your clients with. They don't care.
They do not care what award you have. They don't care about any of that. They care about talking about themselves.
Absolutely.
Like, they want to just talk about them, and that's this, like, they don't care about anything. They just want to make sure that you guys relate. That's sales, but that's really what they're in it for. Is like, can we relate? Can we get through this transaction together?
Yeah.
So if you need to talk about how many deals you've done, like, you've already lost.
Yeah, they assume all the realtors that sell the houses and have all the awards already. They see it on social media,
right?
Whatever. And what does that even mean? So, cool. So,
and I think to that guy that kept saying like, oh, how do I compete? Like, he needs to put more energy into finding clients.
Yeah, it's just.
That's like, why are you even focusing on that? Yeah. Like, you already know that you lost. like, if I'm going out, like, that's not a good mind. Like, no.
Not a good
focus
mindset,
on
right?
getting the deal. Focus on getting the client. Why focus on other people and competing? Like, no. Like,
creating wins. Like,
right.
You nailed it. Create the wins. You're the guy.
Yes.
Get in there, get the sign.
Don't
the
focus
next
on
step.
Don't focus on others.
How you can compete and beat other people. You like, no.
Yeah. Man.
So besides real estate, we could talk real estate all day. We may need to do another pod with you.
For sure.
So Celina, what do you do for fun?
I like to shop. I like to go out to eat. I like to try new restaurants. I like to get coffee in the morning. I like to walk my dog. I like to hang out with friends. I'm an extrovert, so like this fills my energy up. Like, I love being around people. Like, that is my I just get happy. That's what I like to do. I like to go to therapy. I like to read a self-help book. I like to hang out with family, hang out with my fiance.
Nice.
Travel.
What is your current favorite restaurant?
So there's this restaurant in Durango called Mijo, and it's a really good Mexican restaurant. I don't think it's that good, but I like the vibe. So like, I like the vibe, I like the way it looks, and then the food's like okay. So everything like checks out.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's close to my work, so I like going there. I also like La Strega. I like El Solito. I love Italian food. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Those are good options. Yeah.
I didn't know you're extrovert at all.
No, you didn't.
Hard to tell. Yeah, that's amazing though. Yeah, it's a good places.
Yeah.
Well, if you need suggestions, Rod is a foodie, so
Okay.
It sounds like you know your stuff.
Oh, you know
this
for
guy,
sure. Yeah.
When it's Valentine's Day, I'm like, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but no, it seems like
asking you for
you're very
restaurants.
well rounded, and I do want to give you credit because you come up on my Instagram feed constantly.
What?
So
No
you're
way!
doing the right thing. Whatever you're doing with the content, I wanted to dive more into that, but we'll save it for the next time.
Stop! I love that.
But you are always standing out, and I give you props.
Thank you.
That is amazing. That's taking
Yeah, we got to talk about that more next time. I can't believe we just went over all that. It's like, this is a social media queen right here.
Oh, for
We
sure.
didn't talk about it. What are we doing, Rob?
Yeah.
Are we even here?
Did you even
You guys
read the
gotta start
questions?
dancing. Literally, like start dancing and rolling around.
I love it. I love how you keep it fun on social media.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up.
Let's go.
I want to thank the best co-host in the business, Mr. Rodrigo.
Thank you. Thank you, Celina.
Thank you, Celina.
Thank you guys. I want to come back already.
Yeah,
for
we're
sure.
going to
We're
have
gonna
you
do
back. If you're looking to buy or sell, Celina is your gal. She's amazing at what she does. Guys, this is Runnin Vegas. John McNamara. Take care of yourselves today.
Thank you.